Hello, this is Tenkage, voice of Andale, and we would just like to say thank you for over 300 downloads on the first episode of Stray and Me. From all of us who work on the show, we really appreciate everyone who takes the time to listen and enjoy, and we hope you continue to do so. Extra shoutouts to Lori Selfick, Jenny Zolman, and Shayna Richter. Please enjoy, and thanks.
Hello again. Andale woke up early today. I could hear her getting out of bed. I slept at the foot of it. It was nice and warm there. She swung her feet out of the covers and off of the bed. She wore a pair of pink pajamas with little clouds on them. It looked like the clouds were moving as she walked. That made me smile. She opened the door to her room a crack, peeking out into the hall. I crept up next to her. I don't make any sound, but Andale was being quiet, so it seemed like I should too. The lights were on, and I could hear movement coming from downstairs. Andale heard it too. She seemed a bit excited, but also scared. I asked her why, but she put a finger to her lips and shushed me, before leaning to whisper in my ear. She said that her parents were getting ready. I heard a man's voice. It was deep, heavy, and smooth. The kind of voice that would be the color of caramel, if voices had colors. It was answered by a lighter voice that seemed the same, but different. It sounded like a bird, like the ones I could see outside Andale's window, flying through the flowers. The voice was lavender, the kind of voice that liked to speak, like a bird liked to fly, the kind of voice that couldn't be caged. They moved around a lot, like they were very busy. They were in the kitchen, I think. I could hear the clicking of cups and the shifting of plates as they got ready to start their day. I asked Andale if we could go down and say hello, but she shook her head, that scared excitement crackling around her still. I got the feeling she'd done this before, waited up while her parents got ready for work. It had a feeling I've never felt before. I haven't felt many feelings yet, though. Like we were doing something wrong that wasn't quite wrong. We felt like spies, ears to the ground to ferret out top-secret plans, or wizards in a game of riddles. I learned a lot listening to them talk. Andale's mother ran a dress shop in town. Lots of people came there from all over to see the clothes she made. She was working on a big order for a ball that would be held soon. She worried about things like ribbons and lace, and scissors and thread. She talked about colors and patterns and used lots of words I didn't understand. Her father worked at a factory. I didn't catch what exactly the factory made, but he spoke of rivets and iron and nails and bolts. The factory was big, and he ran the whole thing. Andale had important parents. We listened to them for a long time as they talked, but as the sun made the house brighter, her father said they had to leave if they didn't want to be late. My ears twitched as I heard her father's heavy footsteps suddenly grow louder. Andale gasped and leapt away from the door. She told me to get back in bed, quickly. She couldn't help but laugh as we ran across the room. She said it was a race. She underestimated that 4 legs are better than 2, so I won. I've never won anything before. I think I like winning. I didn't have much time to think about it, though. Andale scurried under the covers as her father's heavy footsteps reached the door. She told me to close my eyes, so I did as I heard her pretend to snore. Her father's footsteps got closer to the bed. He was heavy, or at least his shoes were heavy. I couldn't see him. He smelled strong, like a dark, rich wood. He stood at Andale's bedside for a moment, watching her sleep. I felt him reach over. I think he stroked her hair before he bent down and gave her a gentle kiss on the cheek. Something was whispered in the early morning air. A father's promise. It was a few words that I couldn't make out, but I could feel Andale's response to them. The words spoke of things to come, that the world would be better, and that things would be better in times ahead. She hoped that those times would come soon. I could feel that it took all her strength not to leap out of bed and wrap her arms around his neck, begging him to stay. Her strength held. There was a quiet moment. The early morning birds that chirped like her mother's voice singing outside. Her father said a whispered goodbye before his heavy footsteps walked out the door and down the stairs. I could hear him kiss her mother, and more words were shared. I couldn't hear those, but I don't think I should have. Andale stayed in bed until I heard a strange coughing sound from outside that slowly sputtered away. She sat up in bed after they'd gone. She was quiet. I asked her why she hadn't walked downstairs and said hello, sitting up and shifting closer to her. She put a hand on my head, rubbing gently between my ears. She smiled at me, but it didn't seem like a happy smile. She said that if she'd walked downstairs, they would have just sent her to her room while they talked about business and adult things they thought she couldn't understand. She said that they only said what they really wanted to when they thought she couldn't hear. I'm not sure I understand, but it seemed important to Andale, that moment with her father. If it's important to her, it's important to me. After a moment, she got out of bed, the clouds on her pajamas drifting as she walked towards the door. She turned to me with a smile that was slightly different than the one before, though I couldn't think of how. She asked me if I liked eggs. She could cook eggs. She wasn't supposed to, but her parents rarely noticed, and though her brother was supposed to watch her, he didn't seem to care. I said I didn't know. I'd never tried eggs. We spent the day in the kitchen with her at the stove. She said she liked to cook, and she seemed happier to have something to do. She made them sunny side up. The plate was beautiful. As it turns out, I do like eggs.
This has been a production of Universe in the Box. Stray Ami is written by S. Anon and Ellerby J. Blanc is voiced by R. Andam. And Andale by Tenkage. Original music composed by Trevor Hamer. All rights reserved. If you enjoyed the show, please consider checking out our website at universeinthebox.com. And if you'd like to ask a question or contribute your talents to the show, send us a message at universeinthebox@gmail.com. And also, consider making a donation to help out. A portion of all donations goes to help the Animal Care and Control Center of Jacksonville, Florida. Can't donate? Still want to be awesome? Share the show with a friend. Things are only really real as you make them, so please help make us as real as possible. Until next time. Goodbye.